Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. How's it going, guys?
It's going better than the intro.
Man, right? Like
I said it once. I'll say it again. StreamYard, there should be some compensatory month coming our way. I feel like you should be paying for at least 3 or 4.
This is starting to get a little bit annoying.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Wow. This is a lot like Joe Burrow's foot. Like it's still here, but it doesn't work very good.
But at least Joe Burrow's foot has a timetable. Your streamer is not going to give you a timetable when they're going to fix their crap.
I mean, it might give me a timetable when I switch to a different streaming service.
I feel like this is almost like Archie Manning's game. On again, off again, never to be seen.
Yeah, talk about I mean, second start, he's getting booed. Like, you're just, man.
Bro.
Rough.
Bro, you can only ride that Archie Manning name for so long. You can only do it for so long. Not to quote Dennis Green here, but he is who we thought he was.
I wouldn't go that far. Everyone thought this guy was going to be the top player in the country. So
yeah, I was going to say, like, that's not accurate at all.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure all the Texas fans, maybe outside of UJ, did not expect him to look this bad.
I didn't expect him to look this bad. I didn't expect him to look like the Heisman winner. Like,
yeah.
All off season leading up to this, I was like, pump the brakes. You guys are trying to get, like, let's watch him play some football. And now that we're watching him play some football, I'm like, can we stop watching him play football?
Hey, I'm like that with JJ McCarthy at this game too.
I think it was just his grandfather comes out and says, yeah, Archie's going to be here till 2026 with Texas. And then he comes out and says, whoa, granddad, pump the brakes. I might be going to the NFL. I think it's more like he's going to maybe be at a D2, D3 if he don't get his shit together.
I mean, anything's possible.
I mean, it's ridiculous. But he goes out there and yeah, because he just
I don't think that's the real thing.
Hey, I'm kind of like that right now with JJ McCarthy though too. JJ McCarthy looks rough, very rough around the edges right now.
My whole screen just went white, so I don't even know if I'm still here.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me, Will?
Yeah. Okay.
I can see you.
Yeah,
You're not moving.
I can hear you. Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Hopefully I'm not making a super weird face, but yeah, like my whole StreamYard just turned to a blank white screen.
This is how the cookie crumbles, Dustin. Starts off with a white screen. God knows where we go from there.
All right.
Why do I feel like you're like in Darth Vader? You're an Imperial Stormtrooper. Like, you know how he has the big white chair and he's behind and he's like the evil overlord.
You want first?
I'm just hanging out in my white chair, controlling things on my end here, Jay.
Poor Bo. It's a rough day for Bo, man. I don't know how he's gonna do all of his shows.
It's a rough day for. Yeah, his service over there is going real swell.
Yeah. So what are you thinking, man, about your let's see. I know you watch college football. Who is your college football team? Are you Minnesota Gopher or what?
No, I'm Wisconsin for college football.
Wisconsin. Okay. Y'all played Alabama this weekend.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't gonna take too much away from this game, win or lose. Didn't expect him to win. Didn't expect the game to be close.
I don't know, man. I tell you, the more and more I'm starting to really believe in this Penn. I mean, who's going to take out Penn State? Maybe Ohio. Maybe Ohio they get it in there.
I don't even know if Ohio State plays Penn State this year.
No, I'm just saying in general. I mean, like I'm just saying, like, you know, who's like the legitimate one too? Is Penn State still the better team you think over Ohio? Even though Ohio is coming off the national champions, how would you put that?
I still have Ohio State number one. My theory on it, and I can't stand the way NCAA does things, but My theory on it has always been if you win the national championship the year prior, you should enter the following season number 1 in the country, regardless who you have coming back, regardless who you lose, because you're the defending champion. You should be the number 1 team in the country when that season starts next year.
Right. I saw like they got Texas was ranked 7th going into this week. Now they're ranked 8th. I don't blame them at all for dropping them down to 8th because Texas, even though they got the win over UTEP, like I said, he if you watch him, 114 yards. I think he had a touchdown and a pick. Arch just did not look good, bro. Even against UTEP, he did not look good.
And I was saying that before, like Bo Froze too. The way Arch Manning is playing for you, I'm getting those vibes with JJ McCarthy right now because he's played 2 games and he's had 1 good quarter out of 8. And the other 7 quarters have just been rough, to say the least. Like last night again, like you lost to the Falcons 22-6. You allowed 5 field goals and then a late game touchdown just because your defense was on the field the entire time. But again, you only threw for 158 yards. They couldn't do anything, really. He had 1 pass that was like 51 yards to Justin Jefferson at the end of the first half. Outside of that, it was, again, a lot of mediocre, short little crap plays that I don't know if Kevin O'Connell is just trying to ease him into things or if he's just not ready to turn him loose yet. But at some point, you got to see what McCarthy has. You got to be a little bit more aggressive. You got to stop being so conservative and try to turn him into what you got.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you one thing. Goff resurrected himself and Detroit resurrected themselves, albeit it's against Chicago. But, you know, Chicago does have a good defense. I mean,
Chicago right now defensively is very battered. They don't have Jalen Johnson. Kyler Gordon's hurt last week. TJ Edwards went out, I think, in the second quarter, just to start third quarter yesterday. They have another D lineman that's down. Like, Chicago right now is not healthy defensively. And you knew, based on how the Lions lost to the Packers, they were going to come out very angry on Sunday. And I kind of said the same thing when it came to the Cleveland Browns playing the Ravens last week. Given the way the Ravens lost, I would hate to be the Browns just because, you know, the Ravens are pissed. Right. Same situation for the Bears yesterday. I knew coming into that game, like, I would not want to be the Bears this week because Dan Campbell's going to have that team so beyond fired up. He's going against his former assistant. You're coming off of a loss where you look like complete crap. It was a recipe for disaster for Chicago yesterday, and you saw exactly what was going to happen.
No, there's no doubt about it. I mean, he has to put on a good show against Ben Johnson. Otherwise, if he doesn't look good against Ben Johnson, a lot of people are going to be saying, well, you know, Detroit wasn't as good because of the coordinators, Dan Campbell, this or that. So, yeah, he had to put on a good showing, and he did. I mean, he had that team ready to play. And I got to ask you, if you're Minnesota, let me ask you one question. If you're Minnesota, I know this is week 2, so I don't want to get too crazy with it, but if you're Minnesota and you're your ownership and you're the coach, are you having buyer's remorse letting Darnold go and bringing in McCarthy?
Not yet. We're only 2 games into his NFL career. He's technically a rookie yet just because he didn't play during his rookie season. Mm-hmm. But the comment that Robert made right there, I don't necessarily agree with last year being a fluke. Right now, Minnesota's number 1 offensive lineman is still recovering from a torn ACL. So they have a guy playing left tackle that has never started before in the NFL, and he's just been getting worked the past 2 weeks just because he doesn't have any NFL experience. Minnesota also has a rookie left guard. So the entire left side of the line right now is either a rookie or a guy that doesn't have any NFL experience. Minnesota's starting center got hurt in the first quarter last night. Their backup center got hurt in the second quarter, and their third-string center got hurt in the fourth quarter. So right now, Minnesota doesn't have a center right now. So basically, 3 of Minnesota's 5 offensive linemen are gone right now. So that's not going to help your rookie quarterback because you don't have half your line blocking for him at this point right now. Like, McCarthy's a project. Everyone knew he was going to be a project, so I'm not ready to, like, say it's buyer's remorse yet because we're going to have to be patient with him. The only thing that I'm getting overly frustrated with is it seems like they're holding him back on some of the play calls. It seems like they're keeping the training wheels on, and they're just kind of trying to ease him into it, which I get. You don't want to put too much on his plate yet. But at some point, you need to open the playbook a little bit for him. You need to see what you have in him to see if he is your answer long-term because he's thrown for 143, and 158 his first 2 games, and last night 52 of his 158 came on one pass right before the half.
Yeah, it makes me think that there might be some stuff that they're seeing either in the in the classrooms or on the field that's making them limit stuff.
I think it has to do. I think it has to do with the offensive line.
They don't generally just limit a guy for the hell of it, right? Like usually there's things that are happening that they're like, hey, you know what? You're getting these play calls wrong, or you're getting this alignment wrong, or like there's usually reasons for it, or you're not even hitting this guy in practice. I don't want you to do it in a live game. I mean, they don't usually just like, hey, you know what? You look great, but no, like they don't.
I think a lot of it has to do with the position the offensive line is in right now too. Like right now, their offensive line is not. They gave up, I think, 9 sacks last night, and he got sacked 5 times against the Bears on Monday. And I think right now it's the position the offensive line is in where he doesn't have the time to take these 5 to 7 step drops and kind of survey the field because the left side of the line isn't blocking. So right now it's a lot of 2-3 step drops and just kind of quick 4-yard, 5-yard passes just to get the ball out. Once Darisaw comes back, and if Ryan Kelly is healthy enough to go next week, I think you'll start seeing more aggressiveness in the play calls, because if he can get a little bit more time to throw, then you might see them open it up, because if you're not getting time to throw, you're not going to be able to take these 5 to 7 step drops. It's a lot of 1-2 out, 1-2 out, 1-2 out, and that's kind of, I think, affecting him right now just because he's not having time to survey the field as much as he wants to. It's pretty much 2-step drop, take your first read, 2-step drop, take your first read, even if it's only a 2 or 3 yard gain.
Scott, the thing is he was kind of a game manager in Michigan.
Yeah,
like they were mostly a running game. He had to throw the ball a little bit here and there, had to be special once or twice a game.
Yeah.
That's
how I want him to play in Minnesota. But even as a game manager in Michigan, they still lined him up in shotgun a lot. They still gave him a lot of these 5-step drops because they let him survey the field, and then he chose where he wanted to go with the ball. And if that's how they play him in Minnesota, I'm fine with it. But he still has to have the time to do that. If he doesn't have the time to survey the field, you just have to pretty much go with whoever's open.
No quarterback is good if the line is bad.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you have to just get rid of it.
Yeah, like that's obviously that's true. Like
that's why I'm not ready to give up on him yet. I just think right now it's more so we have to wait to see how he is once that offensive line is healthy. If he looks the same, then it's
that is the epitome of overreaction Monday. It's been 2 games. You don't need to burn it down after 2 games. Like it's
the offensive line play is what's just very irritating, because Minnesota spent over $100 million on their offensive line this offseason to fix it.
Sure.
And one guy who they just signed to a massive extension is recovering from a torn ACL. One guy who they signed to be their center is, I don't even know what he left the game for, but he left in the first quarter. You have a rookie on the other side, and then you just have a couple other unproven guys filling in right now. So all that investment that you made, it's not working right now because they're all sitting on the bench.
He left. He's like, the other team's being mean to me.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got to be honest with you. And I was not impressed. I was not happy at all with the way the Cowboys played yesterday. Our secondary looked horrendous. I mean, Malik Neighbors was wide open. Robinson was wide open.
The moon ball was working.
Hey, that game was as ugly as I expected that game to be.
Yeah, it was.
I did not expect it to be 40-37, though. I thought it was going to be like a 2017 ugly game, not like that.
Well,
I thought offensively we played well, but defensively we sucked so bad on that secondary. And we have no pass rush. We have 0 pass rush.
Both teams were out of position all day.
Yeah.
Like literally, you could watch the routes be ran, and you could watch both teams just not be where they should be
at all.
Even when they were playing zone, you're like, why are you floating out of your zone?
Like, that's why I said about when Diggs did that.
You defend a spot. Like I don't what are we doing?
It's not hard. Don't let nothing happen in this little spot.
That was prime Russell Wilson at his finest, though, because he had that moon ball working.
Yeah, he was just launching. And they were dropping in. He wasn't doing much else very well, but I mean, he was getting that one to land. And then
did Aubrey hit a 70-yard field goal though in that game? I think he hit a 70-yarder. Aubrey did.
64.
No.
Was it 68?
64.
64.
Was it 64? I thought it was close to, okay. I thought
No,
maybe I heard him wrong.
No. They said he could have hit it from 70.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I misheard. Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, I know he kicked that ball a hell of a long way, though.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, dude has an absolute cannon for a leg. Like it is,
Yeah.
it is unreal. I mean, when you watch him kick a, like a 45-yarder, it goes through the uprights like he was kicking an extra point, and not like the
Yeah, it
like
does.
original extra point. Like this dude has so much range, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Scott, yes. In my weekly pick'ems, I picked against the Seahawks, and man, they came ready to go in that game. And there was a lot of players that were listed questionable. A couple of them that were even listed as doubtful that played and made impacts. So it was it was good to see those guys on the field. I didn't see Pittsburgh forgetting that a kickoff is a live ball. So, the gift of a touchdown was pretty wild. You don't usually see that kind of special teams malfunction, but I'll take it. And, overall, the Seahawks did look good. And so that's reassuring because, well, nobody wants to go 0-2 to start a season.
I thought Walker did. He's on my fantasy league. He had a great game. I think he got like 18 points off of that guy.
He had a great game.
Do you think that, he's going to hold off Charbonnet at least a little bit on the lion's share of the carries, or do you think Charbonnet eventually will overtake him for the lion's share?
So Walker has to show some consistency. So this is what you saw yesterday was exactly why he's the running back one, right? Like that.
Right.
That is why he's that dude. The problem is he just has been wildly inconsistent as far as production. Now, some of that you could blame on the offensive line for sure. But Charbonnet had to play behind the same offensive line. So, so even during preseason, they were talking about Charbonnet could ultimately become the, RB1 in front of Walker because he's just been far more consistent. But then you see a game like that and they're like, well, let's wait a minute. So I would imagine Walker, they're going to wait and see if he can, string a couple of these games together. Because, the Steeler defense is good. So it's not like he was doing it against, the Panthers or the Titans or something. Like they're playing a good defense. So, I don't know. We'll have to kind of wait and see. And Rob, the defense came to play for sure. All of our questionable guys, except for Witherspoon, played anyway because Julian Love was questionable. You had Jaron Reed was questionable. Nwosu was actually thought to be doubtful. And all those guys played. Kobe Bryant was questionable. He was able to play. So, all those guys, when you looked at the injury report where you were like, wow, this defense is about to get smoked, ended up playing. So the only guy that we had impact player wise that didn't play was Witherspoon. So, and then, the offense is the offense. There's definitely some growing pains there. What's happening, Joe?
I just thought it was interesting because like Robert was saying, Charbonnet actually had more carries than Walker. He had 15 carries to Walker's 13, but he only averaged half a yard.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. It's weird.
Yeah, so, and that's why they do some of the running back by committee stuff, because sometimes just a running style works better against a particular defense. So now if you're a fantasy fan, that is terrible because you never know who to start.
No, and that's my point. That's why I was talking to you about it because you're like you said. It comes down to consistency, right? It's crazy.
Ooh, Steve-O, I didn't even think about that option, but that would be interesting. Since Burrow is potentially down 2 to 3 months, do they go and try and get Cousins?
Might not be a bad idea.
I actually wouldn't hate that. They might want to figure that offensive line out, though.
Yeah, because otherwise Cousins' other Achilles will pop.
Yeah, I was going to say Cousins' career will come to an end.
I can just see it now as the announcer. Cousins is now the starting quarterback. 2 plays later, Cousins is now leaving on the stretcher. Next.
Cousins is retired. Yeah, no, Yeah. Well, I actually that wouldn't be a terrible move. They would really need to figure out that offensive line though, because I mean, even in preseason, Burrow took a couple of hits that you're just like, oh man, you don't want to see that in a preseason game. Like I thought he was going to get hurt in that third preseason game.
Right.
I mean, he was scrambling around and got just smacked, and you're like, oh man, you can't do that before the season starts. So yeah, I don't know.
Cincinnati just seems to be in some bad luck. Ever since they had that Super Bowl appearance, right after that Super Bowl appearance, it just seems like everything is like all the wheels are just falling off of that damn train.
What did I say all off season about Burrow? He plays every other season, and he had a great year last year. And I was like, what's going to happen to Joe Burrow? Oh, he's going to get hurt. Here we are, week 2. He's basically done. And it's like, oh well, I mean. There it is.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, don't make no predictions about my team, Bo. Damn.
I didn't need to. They're gonna suck.
I know. It's crazy though, man. When we played really nicely against the Phillies, the Eagles, but then we go and we play the Giants, which we should by all means destroy, but we don't. We let them look like the best thing ever.
No, but that makes so much sense because. Yeah. That game, you guys were up for. You had it circled on the calendar. You guys are like, we are gonna beat these guys. Like, doesn't matter who we have in the building. We're coming out here mad. We want to hit them in the mouth. But then you lose. So there's that emotional like drop, and then you play the Giants, who are not a good team, right? Like, but they have a good defense,
right? So
I mean, it made the Giants and the Cowboys a good battle because you guys are built in a way where like neither one of you are good.
And there he goes.
Man, this is annoying. It makes a good game though. And I mean, ultimately it's you guys are battling for that third spot in the division, but yeah, I mean, there's just big deficiencies on both teams as far as, effectiveness from personnel groups.
Yeah, and I like how they panned to Jerry Jones in the show and the game, and he just has that stoic, like, he's just sitting there in his chair like this. And I'm like, yeah, Jerry, this is the product you put on the field. Like, you just know he's not happy with what he's seeing. I don't know why he doesn't do anything about it.
Well, when you're saying we're all in and you're pushing your chips to the middle, and if you're not watching the table, you're like, oh, okay, this sounds like something I want to watch. And then you walk over, then you realize that person only has 3 chips. So every hand.
I think I'm all in, Coach. Man, it's just. I think he makes it to 93. I think Jerry Jones makes it 93 years old. I think, and so when he is 93, I think that's the day I'll see a different owner at the Cowboys. I don't think he makes it past 93 though.
That's possible. This is Scott. I honestly don't know how to pick that game.
See, the funny thing with the Bears is, and
Bears.
I know every team does this. But every team scripts basically their first 10 to 15 plays.
Yeah, of course.
And if you look at last week against Minnesota and then this week against the Lions, the first drive of the game, both times for the Bears, they went right down the field with ease, put up a touchdown against the Vikings, went right down the field with ease against the Lions. Yes, they put up a touchdown on their first drive. If I'm Chicago, I'm not even really putting extended game plans together anymore. I'm just scripting the drive like drive by drive. Like you come into the game with your 15 scripted plays. All of a sudden the defense gets back on the field, go talk to Caleb Williams, script the next 15 plays together. See how it does. Maybe that is – there was a report that came out in Chicago that a lot of people were –
So that's not generally how the scripting works though. Usually what it is they do those – scripted plays like their first 10 or 15 plays depending on but they do those through the walkthrough.
Yeah, right? But they were talking about this in Chicago where they think Caleb Williams has like a learning disability where it's the way they didn't word it like that, but the way he like wrote it, it made it seem like he has like a learning disability where it's very hard for him to decipher plays as it's very hard for him to decipher plays as the play call is coming in.
That's so great. There's going to be if that's what they said, the memes out there today are going to be fantastic.
No, this was.
I see Caleb eating paint chip memes.
100%.
I see Caleb eating glue memes.
Oh man,
this was already out there last week, and a lot of Chicago's media is unhappy with it because it came out right before the Viking game, and a lot of like the Chicago media is unhappy about it. The Bears coaching staff was unhappy about it, but basically, he has a very hard time deciphering plays as they come in when he's in the huddle.
He's dyslexic. He throws it to the other team.
Well, no, they basically said like he understands the play that's coming in, but he has a hard time like processing it,
articulating it.
So that's why like I think it was either David Kaplan who works for ESPN Chicago or somebody else that works in ESPN Chicago. They basically said like for the time being with Ben Johnson, since his offense is so complex, between drives when the defense is on the field, you should just go over with Caleb Williams and go through like 5 or 10 plays that you want him to run on that next drive. And just basically be like, these are the plays we're going to run on the next drive. Just run these 10, call them any way you want to call them. Then you get off the field, go to the next drive. These are the plays I want to run in this one.
That's what I'm saying is he doesn't – the first 10, 12, 15 plays are ones that they do a couple of walkthroughs so he knows what they are. The problem is you can't do that again. You can't script 10 plays for him because he doesn't get to do the walkthrough.
Yeah.
Right? You're live in a game. So whether you give him if he's having a hard time figuring out the play, giving him 10 isn't going to help him out.
I think it's more so like if he knows what you want to call ahead of time, or if he knows like what to call going into the drive, it's easier for him than if he's going in the huddle waiting for what's to come and kind of not knowing what's coming. Like if he has like a handful, it'd be like, oh, these are the plays that I can call on this drive. Let's just pick what I want to do and let me call the section of plays that I want to do. Because that's what he did a lot at USC before with Lane Kiffin. When Lane Kiffin was his OC, which is when he had his really good year at USC, Lane Kiffin basically said, here's 15 plays. Call them how you want to call them in the huddle. And Caleb Williams goes to the huddle and just kind of be like, we're going to run this play in first down. Next play. We're going to run this play in second down. Like they had the play.
Everybody is better if they get to just decide what they're doing.
Yeah. And that's why, like right now, why not?
Because
how do you make a franchise quarterback if he can't even read the plays and know the plays, simplistic plays? How's he gonna do audibles? How's he gonna read defense? I think it's time. Would you say it's time to give up if he's that damn incompetent?
Besides, you can't you can't do that anyway. Otherwise, why even have an OC or the other coaches up in the booth that are watching the defense from an angle that you can't? Like if you are just making up whatever it is you're doing. Hey, who's this guy?
Yeah, I forgot all about the fact that I am on Central Time.
Oh, funny. Right on. Well,
that's what happens when you go to Central Time. Yeah, you're about an hour behind.
Yes.
Nice 4-leg parlay. That's nice.
Caleb Williams needs yes. Yeah. So we were just talking about Caleb Williams looks awesome. So
did he look awesome?
He looked awesome for 2 possessions, the first possession of the game, and then the Bears 1 touchdown drive in the second half. Outside of that, he looked terrible.
Yep. Him and Kyler can play Call of Duty. That's awesome. Yeah, so there's that.
I'm interested to find out, like, what happened in the Cowboys game. Because I didn't watch a thing of it.
Well, they won. I mean, they won it in overtime, but I think just like everybody else knows, like we were talking about, it was all offense and no defense. Like zero defense. I will give the Cowboys credit. I got to give them credit on the penalty side of life. They didn't really commit a whole lot of penalties. They were very disciplined on penalties, which is something that the Cowboys have struggled probably for the last – well, they've been struggling since Wade Phillips left the Cowboys with penalties and issues. So I'm glad that they are not committing the same penalties or as many penalties, but I'd like to see that defense get a little bit better. Pags, our secondary was damn near non-existent. It was ridiculous.
So is the Giants defense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Russell Wilson yesterday, like I was saying earlier, looked like prime Russell Wilson. 450 yards passing, had the moon ball working, pretty much finding anybody he wanted to find whenever he wanted to find them.
My problem with the Cowboys is we have no pass rush and we have a crappy secondary right now. Now, yes, it's only 2 games in, so I'm going to wait and see how. But right now, from what I'm seeing from them, very little on the secondary side and very little pass rush. And I mean, we do have a good run defense. I'll give them that.
You signed Jadeveon Clowney last night.
Oh, the Cowboys signed Clowney?
Yep, to a 1-year deal, so let's see how
Yeah,
long
but when was the last time Clowney was relevant, though, Bubba?
2 years ago when he was at Cleveland. He had like 9.5 sacks when he was at Cleveland 2 years ago.
Yeah, but that's 2.5 years ago.
It was
What
also
am I going to do
one of
about
his
2.5
best
years
of his
ago?
career.
Yeah, he was playing
Yeah.
alongside Myles Garrett, so that did help. But Clowney can still, if you put him in specific pass rushing packages and don't use him 60, 70 snaps a game like he was being used earlier in his career, he can still get you probably 8 to 10 sacks if he's specifically used on pass rush situations.
If you leave him unblocked and you only use him a couple of times,
No, because that's what the Packers are doing right now with Micah Parsons. He's only playing 35 to 40 snaps a game right now, and they're specifically putting him out there in like pass rushing formations. And he's getting to the quarterback consistently because they know he's not healthy right now yet. Like with Clowney, if he's going to take him obviously probably 3-4 weeks to learn that playbook. Have a couple plays just designed for him every game where it's like, this is the pass rushing play you're going in on. Just go after the quarterback and see if you can get to him. Because even if he doesn't get to him, any sort of pressure he can get is going to help that defense.
yeah, I didn't even think about it from that end, Joe.
So I'll tell you the reason why, Joe. Because the Eagles' offense is not working yet. I mean, I don't know. Was it just me? They said, first off, there was going to be about 30 million people watching the Eagles game last night or yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got to imagine that there was about 24 million changing the channel. I didn't think it was a great game.
Yeah.
I think Patrick Mahomes looked pedestrian at best, other than his run plays.
Travis Kelce still forgot how to play football for a second straight year because he dropped a would-be potential touchdown setup play into an interception.
Yeah,
I could definitely get hurt and collect a paycheck, man.
I don't know. I felt that the Eagles' offense isn't anywhere near what it's supposed to be yet, which is okay with me because it is week 2.
Yeah.
I don't need them to be playing their best football right now.
But dude, do you get the impression, like seeing after that interception from Mahomes when he threw it to Kelce and just kind of seeing Kelce's reaction after it? Does it not seem like Kelce's just completely disinterested with football now?
He's married to Taylor Swift.
Like anytime he used to mess up, like he would throw his helmet on the sideline or like he would show like some sort of visible frustrated emotion. It's like now like he messes up, he just goes to the sideline and just sits there like he's just done with football. He's just not interested in football anymore.
Well, I mean, it's probably his last year, right? It's the last year of his contract anyway.
Yeah.
And, you know, he does have a lot of stuff outside of football.
Called Taylor Swift. It's a
Well,
Swift
and I
effect.
mean, you know, he's already won rings, so some of that fight
Yeah.
may not be in there, especially while they're losing, right? Like winning can keep you motivated. Losing, you know, you got to be hungry.
I don't know, Bo. I still tell you the power of those supermodel women or entertainers out there. They did it to Romo. They're doing it to Kelce. I don't know. I never like it when an athlete gets involved with a high profile celebrity because it just changes who they are. I've never seen one that was just terrible.
I mean, it worked out pretty well for Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But Brady is an anomaly. He's a one-off.
I don't know.
boy.
Now he caught that one ball and was like, "Yeah, I got a big ball." Like, I really, dude, you caught a football. That's what you get paid to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
you blew the
Outward by
touchdown. You
Sierra.
blew the touchdown.
to be fair, Rob, he started his slide before that happened. As soon as he started his Team 3 brand, he really just got into himself a lot and really forgot about playing football well.
Hey, I'd put that in my contract. If I was signing athletes, you are not allowed to date a supermodel. You can have sex with it as a one-off, but you're not allowed to get into a relationship with a hot celebrity. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
I don't think
I
that would go over too well for you.
That's Mr. Unlimited. Unlimited.
That was something I was going to say about Caleb Williams too. I don't know. Did you watch any of that game yesterday?
What were we going to ask about it?
Because there was after he threw his interception, the first interception where he was trying to throw it out of bounds, and instead of throwing it towards the sidelines, he just airmailed Roma Dunze by 10 yards, and Kirby Joseph.
Oh yeah.
Case Keenum is like on the sidelines trying to help Caleb Williams. Like he's got the iPad with him. He's kind of like trying to talk to Caleb Williams, and all Caleb Williams is doing is like staring up in the sky and like rolling his eyes. It's like, dude, this guy's been in the league for 14 years. He's trying to help you be a better quarterback. Just listen.
No, like that is something that there's been a ton of reports on. Like he is one of the least coachable guys out there.
Yeah, like Case Keenum has been in this league for 14 years. He started for several teams. He's been a very valuable backup for a lot of teams. And he's literally out here holding this tablet, showing Caleb Williams things, and you can just see Caleb Williams looking up in the sky, looking down, looking up in the sky, and then as soon as Keenum turns away, he just rolls his eyes. I'm like, dude, like this guy can teach you a lot that you need to know. You should just kind of listen.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly it. He's immature. It definitely shows. Yeah, no, I mean it's and Rob, I disagree with that 100%. Brady's wife wasn't just a model; she's one of the highest paid models ever.
Yeah,
like not even for like a year or whatever, like all time.
She's pretty hot to me. She could derail me.
I really thought she was super hot, but she just happens to be a Victoria's Secret model forever, and one of the highest paid models to ever do it. So I mean, she made
a model
more than Brady,
though.
exactly, like significantly more than Brady.
Yeah.
And Danny Dimes has looked good in a Colts jersey so far.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not looking bad at all, honestly. I'm almost kind of starting to think that they could actually really test the Texans for that division. You know?
I mean, if they're playing like they currently are, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve-O's got one for you there.
I met Baldy a few times. Actually, we talked yesterday, and I straight out asked him. I was like, "Hey, I'd love to come and come to your studio and watch you like go over film and stuff like that. I'd let like it's just the way he does some things, and I just see all that stuff and just see the way he sees things. It'd be awesome to kind of do that. I think that would make for some great content. So we're gonna try to do that sometime in the middle of the season.
That'd be cool. Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Maybe I get him on the show one time. Even we'll try.
That would be amazing. Yeah. And
actually, who I'd like to try to get on the show again is Dean Blandino. He hasn't been on this show. I've had him on other shows before. He is made some statements about the tush push, and it's getting a lot of press in Philadelphia. Obviously,
that's because he
wants.
I'm
so done with the tush push. I'm like, well, that's great for you.
That's because
I'm glad that you're done with it. We only used it like 8 times yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think one of the biggest ones that you see is the alignment issue. Because from the sky view, you see them in the neutral zone a lot. They don't actually call it, but when you look at a normal formation versus how they line up for the tush push, that's where a bunch of guys are like, it's fine if you're going to leave it in there, at least accurately call, being offsides essentially.
Well, what they're doing is they're actually allowing the defense to be in that neutral zone.
Well, both
A lot
sides.
more.
So because the offensive line's supposed to be behind the ball, and a lot of times when they're lining up, they're not. But they're not calling that, at least so far this year. So
Right.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that starts to get dialed back a little bit.
Yeah, they're also going to be very. I think that you're going to see the quick replays, like the ones that the replay assists.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is where you're going to start seeing replay assists start throwing flags, because there was at least 2 times specifically that the Chiefs were really big on showing the replay of how the refs missed it.
Yeah, no, those.
And-
I mean, you are starting to see that replay assist come in, and it's been good so far.
So, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I love the end of the game where Chris Jones, who was bapping with everybody, He was all bap with Barkley, with Hurts, and I love it. He's like, you didn't even get 100 yards. He goes, we won the effing game.
Yes, that was a great clip. That was a great clip. Yeah, doesn't matter what that stat sheet says. The W is all that matters at the end of the day.
I say.
When you get to the end of the year, you're collecting dubs, not yards.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope.
Yeah. No, I always find it funny when you have players that are trying to say stuff at the end of the game where they lost. It's like, what are you gonna say? Like, you could have been playing out of your mind, had a great game, but you still collected that L, so who cares?
Yeah.
I don't know. I found that very interesting, and they were jawing back and forth. I mean, there was some jawing. It started to get chippy in the end. I also, that was the other thing that I started to think about, is that's how they're going to get rid of this play, by continually doing things wrong. Like, the Chiefs were literally punching into the pile, not going after a ball or nothing or doing whatever, just literally just punching into the pile.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a shot at the ball, sure, but
Yeah.
and Scott, I wouldn't rule them out. Teams have made it to the playoffs going 0-2.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for them is they need their receivers back, right? I mean,
Yeah, they do.
you're
They
down
really
your
do.
top receivers. There's not a lot of teams that are going to look great without their weapons there. So,
And for them, they're very, I'm not going to say they're fortunate, but Rashee Rice only has to sit one more game, and then he gets to come back. The Chiefs play the Giants next week on Sunday night. So this is one of those games where you may not need Rashee Rice. You may not need Worthy. If you can beat the Giants and just kind of play your brand of football right now where you're relying on the defense, you will get Rice back against the Ravens. And then a couple weeks later, you will get Worthy back against the Lions. So it's like right now, if you're going to be 0-2, be 0-2 right now, because you should be able to beat the Giants next week, even without your top guys. And then you'll start to get the guys back when you need them to come back.
well, and we saw a couple of years ago the Bengals start 0-4 and went on a heater to make a wild card spot. So, I mean, it's not that it rules you out. It does make it a whole lot harder, though.
Yeah.
Six games.
Oh, wait, 6 games? Oh, okay. Well, then,
You come back and practice after 4.
okay. I don't know. I just can't see Andy Reid and Mahomes missing the playoffs. It just would be, for them to miss the playoffs, something catastrophically wrong has to happen. And yes, they're not healthy
Losing
right now.
all of your receivers, losing all
Not only that, though, because even with that, they still have a good enough defense to keep them in the game. Because you saw that last year, they had Rice missed almost the whole year last year, and their defense kept them in.
This team does not have the same defense they had last year. Their
I'm about
team.
to say, I think this is a third place team. The way they're playing right now and the amount of injuries that they have, I think they're a third place team right
Well,
now.
I mean, their defense just isn't as good. Is the thing. Like
Yeah.
their defense is fine, but
Right.
it's not a top 10 style defense the
No.
way that it was the last 2 years. It's
Right.
a 15th, 16th ranked defense probably based on their play, and that's not going to get it done if you don't have your weapons.
I asked a few Chiefs fans yesterday how they feel about Andy Reid. The consensus was they're really happy they got 3 rings from him.
Which means they're already ready to run him out of town.
They are. That's exactly correct. That is exactly correct. And it's funny because 3 or 4 people said the exact same thing without different times. So I'm asking this question.
Yeah.
So very interesting how that all worked out.
Yeah. I mean, just like the league, the fans are, what have you done for me lately? And they're like, oh, he lost 3 games in a row.
And it's not like, look.
Wanted to be the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
I mean, if you think about that, there really are some dark times in that because you gotta imagine. I would imagine Kelsey probably does retire next year. They don't get a whole lot of running power out of Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, and like you said, I mean, you got Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, but they're losing a lot on that offense come next year. I think.
Joe, at this point, the Raiders are better.
Yeah.
Based on what we've seen on the field.
Right.
What a time!
Yeah, like I said, if it wasn't for Patrick Mahomes running the ball yesterday, he was not good in a lot of passes, overthrowing and underthrowing, and just not very Patrick Mahomes like.
Yeah, the amount of balls that skipped in was surprising, right?
Yeah.
Like they weren't even close. And it's interesting, Scott mentions Juju here, it's interesting that they don't have a better connection. They played together before, right? In KC, and they played great together that first stint. So it's strange that something is definitely not clicking. Now, some of it you could say, hey, maybe it was because of their travel week back. It's definitely possible, but I don't know. They look like they have bigger problems, and they don't look like they have the answers coming in the next couple of weeks anyway, because
I don't think so.
their weapons are still a little bit out.
Yeah.
And that's a hard division not to have your stuff together and still remain competitive in. And that's a hard division.
I mean, it did make it easier to make the playoffs for an AFC team because the Bengals aren't going to be in it.
No, that's true.
I don't know. They won yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah,
They played Jackson. They played Jacksonville though.
Burrow's done for 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, but I mean that quarterback was slinging it.
Yeah, but the
He threw
Jaguars
like 5 touchdowns. 2 were done by Jacksonville, but
Yeah, well, that's the thing is they played Jacksonville, who isn't very good and doesn't play defense. So I mean, beating Jacksonville isn't exactly like let me hang my hat on this victory. Like,
So here's another question that I was going to ask, since you kind of brought up maybe Kirk Cousins going to the Bengals depending on the situation. Mac Jones looked good yesterday.
yeah,
How long do you think the 49ers ride Mac Jones if he's got a hot hand? Because
they'll wait for Purdy to be right. Like if he can go out there and look effective, then they'll make sure Purdy's healthy. But it's Purdy's job.
yeah, I'm saying though, because you have those situations where the injury is 2 to 3 weeks is what they said for Purdy.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say Mac Jones is 3-0. Maybe that injury goes 5 weeks to make sure he's 100% and be like, we're good right now with Mac Jones. We'll just, ride him a little bit longer. And
I doubt it.
then
Because they paid Purdy, I doubt it. And the only reason I say that is we watched Dallas do something very similar. You had, why am I mind blanking his name? Your backup that went, 4-1, 5-0, 2 years ago. Jay. Help me out,
I'm
man.
sorry. What was,
Cooper Rush.
no, I'm sorry.
Rush. There we go. Yeah, I was just mind blanking his name. But I mean, as soon as Dak was ready to go, they pulled him. They pulled him, right? Even though Rush,
Yeah.
again, went 4-1, 5-0, something like that. I mean, so yeah, it's when you pay somebody a lot of money, they're going to get back in. Like that's
Right.
just had they not paid him yet, I 100% agree. Like if he was still on his rookie deal, no question, they'd be like, you know what, Mac Jones is balling out at the moment. Like let's see what we got. But
Do you think the
now that
Bengals could
they paid
trade
this
for
guy-
Mac Jones?
no, what's that?
Do you think the Bengals could trade for Mac Jones if he has a good 3-run stretch filling in for Purdy?
I don't know
Because
that. I don't know that the Niners want to get rid of Mac Jones because Purdy has gotten hurt a couple of times,
Mhm.
and you want a competent backup, right? It's
And
always
to
tough.
be honest,
I mean,
I thought the opposite way. I actually thought that they might be interested in giving the Vikings a call and asking for Wentz.
No, Vikings won't give up Wentz right now because
Of course not, because they're about to go put him in.
exactly. That's what I was going to say.
I don't think they're about to put him in. It's more so they've seen what happens when your starting quarterback goes down and you don't have a backup. When they had Cousins 2 years ago, he went down and you didn't have a backup, so you had to trade for Josh Dobbs, and then Josh Dobbs got hurt and you went back to Nick Mullins anyways. Minnesota's not going to risk having McCarthy go down, and then you have another rookie behind him and Max Brosmer. Like they want a reliable backup on behind McCarthy in case something happens. Because look at last year, like Darnold was your starter, but you had Daniel Jones as a backup. You had they had somebody else on their team they had two reliable backups last year, Daniel Jones and one other quarterback. So if Darnold went down, Minnesota still had that insurance policy where they had a reliable backup behind Sam Darnold. You get rid of Carson Wentz, your backup is literally a rookie who was drafted in the 7th round this year. Like you can't afford to have a rookie behind basically a rookie right now. You need that veteran presence right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll see.
Bengals could go get
Vikings
could go get Case
He's
Keenum.
going to be starting games very soon, especially if McCarthy keeps getting sacked.
That's why I don't think they go with Wentz right now, is just because Minnesota's offensive line is so badly bruised right now. Do you want to put a guy in Carson Wentz who has an injury history behind that offensive line?
Well, at some point you may have to. If McCarthy got hurt, so at some point he's going to have to play.
McCarthy's at least mobile enough to get out of some of those hits. Like even though he takes the sacks, he at least can scramble out of the pocket to limit the hits that he takes. Because if you look at a lot of his sacks, they were ankle tackles because he was trying to escape the pocket and get outside. He's not actually getting like hit consistently hard being in the pocket versus Wentz. Wentz isn't as mobile as he once was. Like, yes, he can still move around a little bit, but he's going to take a lot more shots than McCarthy takes because he's not as mobile. Especially if that offensive line it continues to kind of be as injured as they are right now.
Joe, they don't want Milton. Like that's not ever going to happen.
What about Cincinnati trading for Drew Lock?
They're not going to get rid of Locke.
You don't think so?
No, because again, you want a serviceable backup, right? Milroe is a project. He doesn't need to touch the field for a year at a minimum. So you're not going to get rid of Locke. He's a cheap backup that has proven he can win when he comes in. So I don't see those ones happening, but it could be a Zach Wilson to that.
Tua might not make it. Tua might not make it much longer. So hey, they want to have Zach Wilson there.
Well, no, but Zach Wilson's the third option there.
Oh yeah. What about famous Jameis?
They could make a play for Winston. That would be interesting also. Yeah.
I think definitely got to see Winston for sure.
They could make a trade for Shedeur.
Because Dart is good enough to lead that team as well as Wilson's. That wouldn't put them in a bad spot at all. It would put the Giants in a bad spot to get rid of Winston.
Actually, I'd be curious to see what a trade package could potentially look like to the Bengals for Shedeur.
So the Bengals right now have 4 quarterbacks coming to Cincinnati to work out today.
Oh, okay. Who do we got?
Desmond Ridder.
Okay.
Mike White.
Okay.
Taylor Heineke, Kyle Trask. They have made calls on Jameis Winston, Kirk Cousins, and Case Keenum.
Okay. Yeah,
Case Keenum makes sense, but knowing what
Sounds
his
like a
situation
bad
is.
boy band.
yeah. I was gonna say Keenum could work. Winston could work. Yeah, the ones that are going to work out. I mean, those don't move the needle at all.
No.
None. Zero.
Case Keenum makes sense, though, just because of his situation in Chicago, because he's a third-string option there, and he's been a backup pretty much his entire career, minus the 4 years that he started. So that does make sense.
Yeah. Well, and Winston could definitely make sense because he's
Yep.
third on the depth chart also. So.
And then they did say they also plan to give Ryan Tannehill a call, see if Ryan Tannehill wants to come work out.
I mean, his arm is so dead. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, his last 2 years, his throwing motion was horrendous.
I hear Vinny Testaverde might be available.
Right?
Warren Moon. Hey, Warren Moon might come out there. Warren Moon can fling it.
He went back there twice. Third time's a charm.
Why don't we just call Boomer Esiason or Carson Palmer while we're at
Yeah,
it?
that's
Maybe
right.
they can fling
That's
it a little
right.
bit.
I don't know. I
Arthur
figured
Palmer
there's
had
Ryan
like
Leaf in there.
Yeah, Browning. Yeah. I mean, that's who they have. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that they'd get the number one pick, though. I still think the Saints are probably that
Archie
team.
Manning might be available at the number one pick. That'd be a good one for him to try to get up to.
No, they're trying to get better.
The thing
Yeah,
with
right. The
the
Brady
thing with
rumors.
Browning is like Browning is good enough to be their starter because he started I think 9 or 10 games with the Bengals already with Joe Burrow being injured.
Yeah.
It's the fact that right now they need another quarterback to be his backup, and that's why like
Sure.
Desmond Ridder, Case Keenum, and some of these other guys who have been starters before but just haven't had a ton of success. Those are the ones that make the most sense because they're used to a backup role, but they're also used to filling in if needed to fill in.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to get a quarterback to replace Browning. It's more so they're going to get a quarterback just because the Bengals' offensive line is terrible. Where if Browning gets hurt, you need somebody behind Browning that you can throw in there.
Absolutely. Well, we'll find out tomorrow when some of these guys work out today what that is. That being said, gets us to the top of the hour. If you've been watching along, be sure to like and subscribe. Otherwise, we'll catch y'all tomorrow. Hopefully a little smoother show. Take it easy, everybody.